Welcome inside the Charles E. Smith Center on the campus of George Washington University here in Washington, D.C. We've got an exciting quad meet of gymnastics here on ESPN Plus as host George Washington takes on Maryland, Towson, and William & Mary. It's a fight for the DMV crown. I'm Christina Chauvenet. I'm going to be your host for the evening. We are just getting set here for the introductions. As I mentioned, you can see the gymnasts running in here. We've got this exciting quad meet. We've got a quad box for you, going to bring you all the routines that we can. I'm going to kick it over to the PA system so you can hear the introductions for our team. Stay tuned. I'll be back for touch warm-ups.
Amy Stewart, Stephanie Macasu, Amanda Petticelli, Bella Minervini, Mia Davis, Grace Valancourt, Cami Vitoff, Celia Trotter, Clara Hong, Mackenzie Butler, Lauren Bolin, Paige Casper, Felicia Poblete, Sarah Giroux, Lauren Green, Paulina Belanovsky, Elise Tisler, and Lauren Keener. The Tigers are led by head coach Jay Ramirez, and he is assisted by Ashley Sauer and Emily McAllis. Next, let's welcome the Tribe from William & Mary. The Tribe are Abby Carpenter, Sophia Huang, Sarah Brownstein, Avery Bernier, Michelle No, Anne-Marie Kubler, Keegan Schaefer, Lily Walker, Sarah Wozniak, Grace Costello, Sophie Chandler, Caitlin Nels, Catherine Bear, Bryn Vitrano, Hannah Burke, Asia Laird, Caroline Blatchford, Sarah Cooper, Amanda Jackson, and Emma Wiley. The Tribe is led by head coach Kelsey Hilton, and she is assisted by Brittany Emmons. Now let's welcome the Maryland Terrapins. The Terrapins are Shani Sirota, Alexis Rubio, Elizabeth DeBarbery, Maddie Komorowski, Taylor Reck, Sierra Kondo, Lindsay Batchelor, Samantha Gilbert, Maya Lee, Alexa Rothenbuscher, Josephine Kogler, Victoria Gatzendorfer, Emma Silberman, Aleka Chignius, Olivia Weir, Austin Lacasse, Rhea LeBlanc, Sophia LeBlanc, Taylor Osterhout, Reese McClure, Tasha Brzezowski, and Athlin Draghi. The Terrapins are led by veteran head coach Brett Nelligan, and he is assisted by J.J. Ferrara and Aaron Dooley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get out of your seats and on your feet and welcome your George Washington University of Colonial Gymnastics team. First up are your GW first years. Introducing a first year from Circleville, New York, majoring in business, Deanna Shermada. A first year from Waynesville, Ohio, majoring in exercise science, Kylie Kazmierski. A first year from Carrollton, Virginia, majoring in arts and sciences, Jada Freeman. And a first year from North Andover, Massachusetts, majoring in exercise science, Casey Burke. Make some noise for your GW first years. Next up, we are going to welcome your GW sophomores. Your sophomores are from Athens, Georgia, majoring in exercise science, Madison McMullen. A sophomore from Crofton, Maryland, majoring in public health, Sarah Zoyce. A sophomore from Chandler, Arizona, majoring in statistics and data science, Marley York. A sophomore from El Segundo, California, majoring in journalism, Nancy Kiner. A sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, majoring in exercise science and pre-med, Rachel Katz. And a sophomore from San Antonio, Texas, majoring in exercise science and pre-med, Gabby Lopez. Give it up for your GW sophomores. Now it's time to welcome your GW juniors. Your juniors are from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, majoring in organizational science, Kendall Whitman. From Highlands Ranch, Colorado, majoring in exercise science, Peyton Lynch. And from Basking Ridge, New Jersey, majoring in exercise science, Annalise Silverman. Make some noise for your DW juniors. And last but not least, let's welcome your GW seniors. Your seniors are a graduate student from Chesterfield, Virginia, studying health and biomedical data sciences, Captain Deja Chambliss. From Annapolis, Maryland, majoring in communications, Captain Hannah Munnelly. From Omaha, Nebraska, majoring in international affairs, Libby Garfoot. And from Boulder, Colorado, majoring in chemistry, Nora Hausman. Make some noise for your GW seniors. Your Colonial Gymnastics team is led by veteran head coach Margie Cunningham, and she is assisted by Stephanie Worrell, Chelsea Ranieri, and Justin Watson. And now, to honor our flag, our country, and our freedom, and those who protect, defend, and serve, both past and present, we ask that you rise if you are able, and please remove your hats for our national anthem.
And welcome back to inside the Charles E. Smith Center on the campus of George Washington University. Taking a look at the rotation order there, we've got your host, GW, in the Olympic order. That is vault, bars, beam, floor. Maryland starting on floor. William and Mary will start on beam. Towson will start on bars. We are inside the touch warm-up period here at GW. Again, I'm Christina Chauvenet. You're watching college gymnastics on ESPN+. Just a little preview of the teams here. We'll start with the host, GW. GW's coming in a tricky position, being ranked 38th in the country, NQS of 195.85. This is a familiar position for them. They narrowly missed making regionals last year. Remember, the top 36 teams qualify for regionals. And as a reminder, that NQS, the national qualifying score, what you use to qualify to the postseason, the algorithm for that is your top 3 away scores, then your next 3 highest scores, whether they are home or away. You take away the top of all of those 6, average the remaining 5, that is your NQS. So GW, the position they're in right now, they are one of the bubble teams. If you're a data nerd, you like reading more about this, would recommend you check out College Gym News. They have all the mathematical scenarios for you. But what you need to remember is basically GW is still in with a chance. They need more scores in the 196s. So they are carrying a few 195s towards their NQS right now, and I talked to Coach Margie Cunningham Foster before the meet, said they're very aware of the situation that they are in. Of course, being ranked 37th last year, tricky position. They are hungry. They are coming off of a strong meet at LSU on 3 of the 4 rotations, but struggled on beam, so that's going to be an important point for them. Towson coming in a slightly more comfortable position with regionals. They are ranked 30th in the country with a 196.27 NQS. They would like to put up some of those mid to high 196s to move up in the rankings. Remember, the bottom 36 teams qualify to 4 regional sites. That means 9 teams in each regional. The bottom 2 teams in each regional have to compete in that first round sudden death meet. So Towson is in a position they would really like to avoid being in that play-in meet. They are in a seated position. They're in a ranking position right now, where they would have to likely compete there. So they did compete in that first round meet last year and lost to UNC, looking to try and qualify to that second round. Maryland coming in the most comfortable of these teams for postseason. They are currently ranked 21st in the country with a 196. With a mid-196 NQS. They aren't technically locked for regionals, but they're pretty much guaranteed at this point. They're almost guaranteed they wouldn't have to compete in that first round. At the same time, they're unlikely to get one of those top 16 seeded spots. So the next few weeks for them are really just honing things for postseason. Getting a look at that quad box again, we're taking a look inside that touch warm-up period. Look at that warm-up vault from Kendall Whitman. We're going to see the Whitman that is her eponymous vault. Such an unbelievable athlete. One of my favorites, certainly, to watch in NCAA. To round out the teams, we've got William and Mary coming in ranked 64th in the country. They are coming off a season-high 193 score last week at Penn State. They're not going to qualify for the NCAA postseason, but they have a lot to look forward to with hosting their conference championships, the Gymnastics East Conference, next weekend. I'll be commentating that meet, by the way, so if you are a Gymnastics East Conference fan, please do tune in. It's going to be a really fun conference championship. So again, inside that warm-up period right now, GW gets that Olympic order as the host team. It's a strong rotation order for them. Vault is their highest ranked event. They are led by Deja Chambliss, one of the seniors that GW is honoring tonight. This is their last home meet. Deja, such a huge contribution to this GW team over her years in the program. Kendall Whitman, another highlight of this rotation. As I mentioned, she has an eponymous vault. That means it was named after her when she was competing in club, and she's just got some of the biggest difficulty in NCAA. Towson's also starting on its highest ranked event. They're ranked 16th in the country there. They are really stunning here. They've got exceptional height on their release moves and dismounts and really nice attention to detail. Isabella Minervini, freshman phenom for them, and Grace Valancourt are exceptional to watch here, but the lineup's really outstanding from top to bottom. William & Mary starts on beam. Statistically, that's their lowest ranked event, but I talked to assistant coach Brittany Emmons before the meet. She said they were happy to start on beam. They had a season high last week to end the meet, so she said that'll be really nice momentum coming from that meet. Grace Costello and Caroline Blatchford are highlights for me to watch on this event. Really excited to see them. They have some unique skills on this event as well. Always like to see different dance and jump combinations on beam. Maryland starts on floor, which is a pretty good event for them. They're a very consistent team, really even across all 4 events. Maddie Komorowski and Reese McClure are real highlights here with exceptional form. And so we'll look out for them in the Maryland lineup. Just about wrapped up with the touch warm-up period here. So I'll give you the starters that you can look for on each event. Again, going to be bringing you as much action as we can. Leading things off for GW on vault will be Marley York. Leading things off on bars for Towson will be Lauren Keener. On beam for William & Mary, it will be Sarah Cooper. And on floor for Maryland, it will be Taylor Reck. Everybody just getting set here. Looks like Marley York will be the first gymnast to go, about to get the red light here. And remember, as I mentioned, GW in the position on that bubble, really critical. If they are going to make regionals, they are in a must-hit situation. They need 3 scores in their next 3 meets to qualify for regionals. They've got a double meet weekend with Maryland and Towson on Sunday. Here we go, Marley York. Nice, solid Yurchenko full there to start for Marley York. Did have the hop and a little bit of shape in the air. What I mean by that is her hip angle is not fully extended. And Taylor Reck here, starting with that front double full, but solid start for GW. Lauren Keener underway for Towson. Pretty Jaeger overshoot combination. Sarah Cooper here for William & Mary. Nice hit routine there for Lauren Keener. Good fight to keep on the beam and that back handspring layout step out. Really nice control of that combination pass. Good start for Maryland on floor. Still waiting for the green light for Rachel Katz here. That step to the side, but a lot of fight in that opening beam routine for William & Mary. Lauren Green up next here for Towson. Looks like we have the green light here for Rachel Katz. Here she goes. I have seen her stick that vault this season, but nice height off the table there in that Yurchenko half. Another one of those vaults starting out of the 9.95. Maria LeBlanc up next for Maryland on floor. Sarah Zoyce up next for GW on vault. Lauren Green underway here for Towson. Muscle up there, oh no, and hit her feet on the bar, but keeps going. Good fight there on bars. Not the routine she wanted, but a lot of grit keeping going. Sarah Zoyce on vault for GW. A nice body position. Again, that hop back, that is going to be, that hop back probably a 10th deduction there. Nice Rudy there to close for LeBlanc. Hangs on to that back handspring layout, step out. Really calm and patient with that correction. And really crisp in that dance combination. Deja Chambliss set to go to kick off her senior campaign. New leotard for GW, by the way, for any leotard fans. A little low on that front toss, but hangs on to it. Sticks that gainer full, nice chest position. Voted William & Mary's most improved gymnast last season. You can see why there. Really nice set. And this is exciting. Clara Hong back in the lineup for Towson after missing a few weeks, had a minor ankle injury. A half pirouette into the piked Jaeger, so pretty. Gorgeous work here, lovely extension. And look at this, double front dismount, sticks it cold. Welcome back to bars, Clara Hong. One of the best, if not the best, double fronts in NCAA. Maddie Komorowski up next here for Maryland on floor. And Deja Chambliss set to go here on vault. And that scoot back, but love the way that she rockets that Yurchenko full into the air. And such pretty twisting form from Komorowski on floor. Caroline Blatchford set to go here for William & Mary. Clean work through that full turn. Blatchford gearing up for a triple series here. And good for her, was a little off on her hips, but hangs on to it. And lovely ring jump to end there for Komorowski. A lot of fight from this William & Mary team on beam, which you love to see. Kendall Whitman, get ready for this, folks. Isabella Minervini on bars. Just unbelievable. No one else in NCAA is doing that vault named after her, as I mentioned, Isabella Minervini. Some great gymnastics going on in this quad box. Doesn't quite hold on to that stick, but really pretty on the bar work for Isabella Minervini, multiple-time Eagle champion. Eagle Rookie of the Week, excuse me. Eagle championships have not happened yet, of course. Hannah Munnelly, one of the seniors for GW, set to go here on vault. Taylor Osterhott up next for Maryland on floor. Sophia Huang up next for William & Mary on beam. Oh, and tucked full for Munnelly, sticks the landing but kind of salutes her way out of it. I think we call that a college stick, but really nice in the air. Sophia Huang, really pretty athlete to watch here. And again, takes her time with that correction, a little bit off. Steph Makasu up next here for Towson on bars. Pretty double pike for Osterhout. Look at that ray by Makasu. Huge. And really pretty set for Sophia Huang as well. One of the things I absolutely love about these quad meets is watching so much great gymnastics. Oh gosh, I think I jinxed her. Just was off in that full pirouette into double back there and couldn't hang on to it. So not Towson's best outing. They did have some hiccups throughout that rotation, but still some great highlights within there. While we're in this moment of calm, I can bring you some score updates. Deja Chambliss leading the way so far for GW, 9.825. Rachel Katz, 9.775. Marley York, 9.725. Sarah Zoyce, 9.7. So overall solid rotation for GW. Still waiting on a couple of those final scores. And we've got Kendall Whitman's in, 9.775. You know, goes for that really difficult vault. The problem is it's hard to stick it. And in NCAA, unlike Elite, we are in the 10.0 system. And so, you know, just not quite as rewarded as I would like to see for that risk. Emma Silberman here for Maryland on floor. And just a really consistent gymnast for Maryland. Their lone all-arounder. Great control of that combination pass, the Bahrainian to that straddle jump. A nice job getting that Popa around. Abby Carpenter underway here for William & Mary on beam. Moving back to the quad box, we've got Grace Valancourt. And just a little hesitation on that back handspring layout step out, but hangs on to it. Lovely front double full to end there. Grace Valancourt, so pretty on bars. Look at that huge Jaeger combination there. And that difficult combination, did a good job of connecting those two elements, the switch split into the switch side on beam. Wow, exactly what Towson needed there after a couple of hiccups throughout their rotation. Carpenter working really well through this routine as well. I gotta say, I love that they have these cartwheels in their routine. You don't see that very often in NCAA gymnastics. Just fun to see something different. Doing that gainer full, pace back, but really nice. I love, see your teammates are hyped about that one. I love the switch split to switch half combination there. And getting set here for Reese McClure on floor for Maryland. She is really a treat to watch here. This is her disco-themed routine. And Grace Costello here next for William & Mary on beam. See Coach Kelsey Hinton there. Pretty twisting form in that front layout to 1.5. And Costello underway here. Rock solid on that back handspring layout step out. Best series we've seen so far from William & Mary. And again, great control in that front layout, front full. I absolutely love Grace McClure on floor. She, to me, is really the ideal of that combination of artistry, tumbling, athleticism, shows great tumbling form. Really fun to watch. And difficult, that tour jeté element on beam, ending sideways on the beam. This is what I'm talking about with the William & Mary beam. You see the William & Mary W&M flashed there. The round off, 1.5, pace forward, but loved the tumbling in that routine, that back handspring layout, step out, really nice. And as I mentioned, I enjoy the variety of the dance, the difficult dance elements that not only Costello, but some of the other athletes did as well. We will have a couple of exhibitions here, one on floor for Maryland, we will see, and also on beam for William & Mary. For William & Mary, it'll be Michelle No. And for Maryland, we've got Shani Sirota, freshman here. A reminder that these exhibition routines do not count towards the team score, but they are scored. Nice control out of that double tuck. Looks like a conference on beam, a judging conference, likely over start value. Oh, slow landing on that double pike. Too bad, but nice tumbling throughout the routine otherwise for Shani Sirota. So Maryland will lose a fair amount of routines next season, and so that is an athlete that may be stepping into the lineup. So good for her to get some experience in this competition setting. All of the scored routines are done. As a reminder, just waiting on the judging conference on beam for Grace Costello. I can bring you some score updates in the meantime. GW has a 48-8, Towson 48-625, William and Mary 48-225, and Maryland 49-375. Michelle No underway here. And, you know, I talked about the fight from the William and Mary beam team, and just couldn't quite square that. She was pretty far off on her landing. And again, going for that difficult split 3/4. Confident in that aerial. William and Mary, again, as I mentioned, they choreographed that into all their beam routines. Since that fall, she's looked really confident. Gainer full, sticks the landing. Good for her. Love to see an athlete come back after a fall on beam. There's something in the gymnastics world we call angry beam. And that's when you have a fall, you get really upset, and then you knock out the rest of your beam routine. I think we saw some of that from her on that beam routine. But as I mentioned, really nice fight there. Just some updates on, more detailed updates on the scores. As I mentioned, Maryland currently leading this meet, 49-375 for them. GW is next with 48-8. William Mary, we've got a score to update for them, and Towson coming in at 47-925. We'll be back on ESPN Plus with college gymnastics. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to College Gymnastics on ESPN Plus. I'm your host, Christina Chauvenet, and we are here with this exciting quad meet at George Washington University. Second rotation, GW will move to bars. A solid rotation for GW on vault to open. Not their highest that they have scored this season. We'll take a look back at some of these vaults. I think the area that GW struggled here was the landing, this full twisting Yurchenko. That was one of the better controlled vaults that we saw, but these landings really do rack up. Nice, pretty in the air, that big hop forward though, unfortunately. So those are pieces where GW lost a 10th or 2. No scores below 9-7 for GW in that rotation. Pretty flare in that Yurchenko full, but you know, just not enough of those vaults moving up into the 9-8 plus range. Deja Chambliss here, full twisting Yurchenko, shows off her famous flare, but again, couldn't quite stick the landing. And Kendall Whitman, I really feel like the judges got to start this out of a 10.1 or something, because look at how difficult that is. Yes, there's form coming off the table, but she is such a trickster. Margie Foster Cunningham describes her as a tiger. Totally agree. And here's that tucked full from Hannah Munnelly, one of the other seniors and co-captain with Deja Chambliss. Nice control there. We are inside the touch warm-up period here. So for the next rotation, we've got GW on bars, Towson on beam, William and Mary on floor. Maryland will move to vault. You take a look at that order, as I mentioned there. GW coming in, they didn't knock it out of the park on vault. So again, as I mentioned, they are fighting for a spot at regionals right now. Really need to pick it up as they move to bars. Now, last week they were away at a meet in Louisiana that LSU hosted. They got their program high, tied their program high at that meet. So this is a good place for them to move. Libby Garfoot, to me, is the highlight of this rotation. She's got a huge ginger, one of the biggest gingers in NCAA. She and Deja Chambliss both scored 9.925s last week for career highs. Towson moves to beam. That is their lowest ranking event. They're coming off a 48.625, not a very strong showing at an event that they are usually above 49. So a little bit of a tricky position for Towson here. As I mentioned, they are in that, I think it's pretty unlikely they're not going to make regionals. They're currently ranked 30th in the country, but might have to face that round one. That is the lowest two ranked teams in each regional have to compete in that round one sudden death competition, and Towson really trying to avoid that. They could use a mid 196 road score. So a little bit of pressure on those two teams coming into this second rotation. Maryland, who is in control of this meet, they are moving to vault, which is a strong event for them. They are coming off of a 49.375 on floor, and they've been pretty solid on vault so far this season. They are missing Aleka Rothenbuscher. She is took a little bit of an ankle cruncher, in the meet against Temple a couple weeks ago. They are keeping her out for preliminary reasons, but she typically vaults a Souk laid out full out of a 10. So that is one of the vaults that Maryland's missing, but very deep on that event. William and Mary moves to floor. They've got a season high here of 48.8, and they have some really exceptional routines here. Love the artistry of this team on floor. They are led here by Keegan Schaefer. She's gone as high as 9.875 this season. Michelle No, who we saw on that exhibition spot, also a really lovely athlete for William and Mary here. So getting a look at the GW Bars team. Remember, last season, GW had a rather dramatic end to the season. Eagle Championships was held here at GW, and I was actually commentating that meet. Such an exciting meet, great gymnastics across the board. GW certainly did not come into that. I think they came into that ranked 4th or 5th, if my memory serves. They upset some of the favorites coming in to win that meet. Still, unfortunately, came up short of qualifying for regionals. So again, when I talked to the coaching staff of GW, they said these athletes know what position they are in. They know they're in a must-hit situation. They're trying to drop some of those 195s. When you're qualifying to the NCAA postseason, you really do need to have an NQS in that 196. That's the cutoff is, for the last several years, has been in that 196 range. So getting started here, we've got Annalise Silverman on bars for GW. And Abby Carpenter will start us off on floor for William & Mary. Lauren Bolin on beam. And Josephine Kogler from Maryland on vault. Nice stick to start off GW. Kogler, that hop forward, nice in the air though. Nice stick on that gainer full for Towson on beam. short on that double pike, but handles it. Pretty routine to start there for William and Mary. She's psyched about that one. Taylor Reck up next here for Maryland on vault. Rachel Katz will be next on bars for GW. We'll do the best I can to keep you updated with scores as they come in. And Sarah Giroux getting started here for Towson on beam. I believe it was a 9-8 to start there for Bolin. Good control of that series. Taylor Reck on vault. Nice full twisting Yurchenko. That pace forward on the dismount there for Katz, but some real pretty work on the bar as well. And Giroux sticks her dismount there for Towson. Michelle No underway here for William and Mary on floor. Michelle No doing a pretty job here on floor for William and Mary. Reese McClure set to go here on vault for Maryland. Jenna Wheats up next for Towson. Little short on that front layout on floor, but great fight to minimize that deduction. A hop to the side there for McClure on vault. Wheats, look at this combination. Oh, was going to connect a beat jump out of that, but she's a really seasoned athlete. She's got about 5 different versions of this routine that I've seen her do, so she'll add something else in, I'm sure. Ariel probably going to do the beat. Yep, does the beat jump there. Love an athlete that can think on their feet like that. Hannah Munnelly here on bars for GW. Remember her senior night. Oh, too bad for Wheats on beam. Silverman moving nicely through this routine. That toe on into the double back, short on that handstand, but sticks the landing. Nice recovery for Wheats, but difficult break for Towson there. Olivia Weir waiting here on to get set to go on vault. Looks like she's gotten the green light. That was the best Maryland vault we've seen. Sorry, folks, it gets confusing when you're commentating in quad meet. Best Maryland vault we've seen so far. Hannah Burke up next here for William & Mary on floor. Wow. Absolutely stuck double back there. And the Silverman up next for Maryland on vault. A difficult switch ring half on floor. Does a pretty good job of getting her head back. Cassidy Stewart in a pressure position here for Towson on beam. She's been really solid for them this season, though. Looks like Emma Silverman's about to be underway here on vault. She does this tricky full on. Stewart hangs on there. Lands outside of the lines on vault, but sticks it. Libby Garfoot, look at this Ginger. State of the art, folks. Unbelievable. Gearing up for her dismount. Sticks it. Garfoot, the senior. You love to see it. Congratulations to her for her excellent career at GW. So lovely. Stewart, you know, I've seen her be cleaner on beam, but she really fought through there quite a bit. A lot of pressure situation, as I mentioned, coming off that fall. Deja Chambliss up next for GW. As I mentioned, got her career high along with Garfoot, so let's see if they can do it again on senior night. Garfoot had that really, as I mentioned, I'd love to hear, if you're watching this meet, NCAA gym fans, let me know if there's anybody you think that does a Ginger as high or as big as Libby Garfoot, because I do not know, I don't think I've seen anyone currently doing it higher than her, so I'd love to hear who you think is in that range. Looks like there's a judges conference on vault. Great double pike there on floor for William and Mary. This is Grace Costello for William and Mary. Lauren Keener for Towson. Deja Chambliss getting set for bars here. Nice series for Bolin. Huge ray for Deja Chambliss. Bolin working well through this routine. Little college salute for Deja there on the dismount, but great work on the bar. And really nice Rudy to close that routine out there for Grace Costello. Lovely. Sticks the landing there for Bolin. You know, beam is a tricky event. You kind of get that, once there's a fall, there gets to be kind of a nervy momentum in the beam lineup. Actually, similar thing to what happened to GW last week. Ready for Alexis Rubio here for Maryland. She got a 9.925 on Sunday at home with this huge Yurchenko full. Check it out. Takes that little hop, so shouldn't score in that range, but gosh, it's pretty in the air. Definitely in that caliber with Deja Chambliss of people that can put that full into the rafters. Grace Valancourt here for Towson. Sophie Chandler up next here for William and Mary on floor. William and Mary really having a strong showing. I'm not going to jinx them by telling you what their season high is, but they're en route to it. Marley York here for GW on bars. Nice to see her catch that Tkachev because she struggled with it in warm-ups. Samantha Gilbert in exhibition here for Maryland. Some short handstands in that routine, but finishes strong. Valancourt cool in that standing punch front connection, so difficult. Hangs on to that back handspring layout, step out. Sophie Chandler, so pretty here. Nice cartwheel gainer full. You know, Grace not happy with that performance either. You know, obviously I've seen her be cleaner on that on beam as well. So for Towson, it's really going to be just resetting. You know, they are going to floor. That can be a really strong event for them. They're a very powerful team. So Maryland also not at their best on vault. Just had some landings that were not as crisp as I have seen them. I think so far the team that has performed to their fullest potential is William and Mary on floor in this rotation. They have really been knocking it out of the park. Really exciting here. Nora Hausman for GW and in exhibition on her senior night. Let's check it out. Free hip, pretty. Goes for the ray and caught it close, but hung on to it. And really nice for her. Congratulations. These student athletes, they work so hard. And you know, whether you're an all-arounder like Deja competing every single weekend, or you're somebody who's not seeing a ton of lineup action, all of these gymnasts are so talented and amazing, and it's so difficult to balance this. So I just congratulate them all. They worked so hard, and congratulations on their senior night. Keegan Schaefer here for William and Mary on floor. And this is Clara Hong in exhibition. Unfortunately, I did see for Valancourt a start value issue. Had one judge had her at a 9.7, the other at a 9.6. Look at this, cool aerial connection. Such pretty stretch. Oh, they've lost the music here on floor, but Schaefer's just championing through. Good for her. Clara Hong, pretty stick there. Unfortunately, Clara Hong in that exhibition spot. They would have liked to count that towards the scoring lineup. And Schaefer just, that is such a tough position to be in. Good for her for handling it when your music goes out. Old school gymnastics fans will remember Brenna Dow for that at the World Championships in 2015, I think. And she just absolutely handled that like a champ. So that will wrap us. We do have a scheduled exhibition for William and Mary on floor. However, I'm not sure if we're going to do that because of the sound issue that we are having. So we'll see. But I can update you in the interim on some of the scores coming in. Maryland, 49 flat on vault. As I mentioned, not quite as crisp as I've seen them at other points in the season, but still some very solid vaults in there, highlighted by Alexis Rubio and that big 9.85 with her full twist in Yurchenko. GW, 48.75. Did not, again, steady, but not in that 9.8 range that they need to really be in if they want to push towards regionals. Libby Garfoot, their highest score there, 9.825. I have to say, I think that could have even gone a little higher. Just that huge Ginger there, and some other solid scores across the board. We've got Silverman in the leadoff, 9.725. Katz, 9.675. Munnelly, 9.8. Garfoot, 9.825. Chambliss, 9.725. York, 9.65. Towson on beam, 48.475. They were led by Giroux with a 9.85. Bolin, 9.8. Wheats, 9.025. Stewart, 9.625. Keener, 9.775. And then Valancourt, 9.425. And here we are on floor. Looks like we did get the music sorted. Sarah Brownstein here. To take that lunge forward on that double pike. Those lunge forwards are taxed more heavily than the lunges backward on the back tumbling passes because it indicates that you didn't get the rotation fully around. William and Mary, as I mentioned, the team that has performed to their best potential. The judges agree with me. 48.8 for them on floor. We'll read you the floor scores. 9.675 for Carpenter, 9.8 for No, 9.775 for Burke, 9.75 for Costello, 9.65 for Chandler, 9.8 for Schaefer. Love to see her rewarded, especially for that grit, as I mentioned, with the music going out. So that ties their season high. William and Mary sitting very pretty right now, 97.025. The Towson, 97.1. GW 97.550, and Maryland in control of this meet right now, 98.375. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the third rotation of gymnastics. You're watching College Gymnastics on ESPN+. And welcome back to College Gymnastics on ESPN+. You are at the Charles E. Smith Center. I'm your host, Christina Chauvenet. Here is the rotation order for Rotation 3. Remember, GW is in that Olympic order on beam, Maryland will be on bars, William & Mary will be on vault, and Towson will be on floor. So moving into this third rotation, as I mentioned, I think the team that is probably happiest with how they are doing compared to their maximum scoring potential has got to be William & Mary. They just knocked it out of the park on floor, 97.025. So they are on a really good pace, and they have already gotten beam out of the way. GW moves to beam. This was the event that was a struggle for them last week at LSU, so they are really going to have to turn that around. A solid rotation for them on bars, but kind of similar on vault, just not quite as crisp as I've seen them in other points of the season. Towson moving to floor, coming off of a nervy performance on beam, so they're going to look to reset here. You know, at this point, it's difficult to imagine that they're going to improve their NQS. Remember, once you have an NQS, you can't lower it. You have your NQS, you can only increase it. So the risk that a team like Towson has, if they do not have a meet that improves their NQS, is that other teams are improving their NQS and could potentially leapfrog them. Maryland moving, but that being said, floor is a really strong event for Towson, ranked 30th in the country here. But they are on pace for 195, which would not count towards their regional qualifying score. Maryland, 98.375. That's a pretty steady, that's a pretty solid pace for Maryland. They would like to be in that higher, that 98.5 range. They would love to break a 197, something that they came so close to last weekend at home. On Sunday, they scored a 196.95. Not quite enough to just a half a tenth short of that 197. So as I mentioned, they are very solid for regionals though, and bars, a really solid event for Maryland, ranked 26th in the country. Their 49.35 is their season high, and Aleka Chiknius is really the highlight for me in this Maryland bars rotation. She's so clean, has a huge Jaeger release move, but Brett Nelligan, who is the head coach of Maryland, he's a real technician. He is both the head coach and their lead bars coach on their lead bars coach, and he really works with these athletes to make sure that the fundamentals are strong. So we're gonna take a quick break here. We will be back with for the third round of college gymnastics here on ESPN+. Welcome back to College Gymnastics on ESPN+. You are inside the Charles E. Smith Center. I'm your host, Christina Chauvenet. In this rotation, rotation 3, GW will be on beam, Towson on floor, William & Mary on vault, Maryland on bars. It's the fight for the DMV crown, folks. If you're not from the DC area, the DMV stands for District, Maryland, and Virginia. And I'm being a little bit liberal with the DMV term there because it's typically used to mean Northern Virginia, but since William & Mary is the only women's college gymnastics program in the state of Virginia, we got all of them here. So really exciting night of gymnastics so far. We've just wrapped up the touch warm-up period here. So you see the GW huddle getting set for beam there, trying to come back from a subpar performance they had on the road last week, had to count a couple falls there. As we look to this next rotation, we will have Emma Silverman leading us here. Oh, excuse me, Rhea LeBlanc leading Maryland here on bars. We'll have Sarah Zoyce leading off on beam for GW. We'll have Polina Belanovsky leading off for Towson on floor, and Hannah Burke leading things off for William & Mary on vault. William & Mary, this is an exciting rotation for them. They have upgraded a number of these vaults. They were competing a lot of Yurchenko layouts. Those are valued in the 9.75. And they have upgraded a lot to these tucked and laid out fulls. We'll see here the Yurchenko layout for Burke to start. When I did talk to the coaching staff beforehand, they did say they anticipate all of those being twisting vaults underway here on bars and beam as well. Oh, missed time, a little slow into that piked Jaeger. Super solid on that triple series for Zoyce. Pretty front double full for Belanovsky. There's that back tumbling element she gets in. Nice recovery on bars, but not the way they wanted to start the rotation. Nice lead off for GW there. That's how they wanted to get this momentum started, shake off some of the cobwebs from last week. Great job for Sarah Zoyce there. Grace Costello here for William & Mary. Tries to still, I love the fight in that, to try and still salute, just missed her block there. That's the block. When I say block, what I mean is the rise you get off the table in order to get that twist around. Pretty routine for Belanovsky there to open for Towson. I really like her lines, really lovely dance that she shows off. Kendall Whitman here, you know, you can see Margie Foster Cunningham giving her a little pep talk there. Margie Foster Cunningham described Kendall Whitman to me as a tiger, and I completely agree with that assertion. One of those athletes, she really reminds me of Jade Carey in the way that she attacks the equipment, the level of difficulty that she is going for. It's really tremendous. Victoria Gatzendorfer getting set here for Maryland on bars. Critical routine for them. Really hard to have that lead-off fall because all the rest of the gymnasts are then in a must-hit situation. Kendall Whitman getting underway here. Sarah Cooper set to go for GW. And Gatzendorfer underway as well. Here's this critical combination for Gatzendorfer. Form quite a big leg separation, but keeps it moving. Love that acro series for Whitman. A nice vault for William & Mary. Sarah Cooper there. Carmela Calafita on floor for Towson. I love this dismount. That front full. Nice routine for Whitman. I love that 1.5 to Rudy for Towson on floor. Caroline Blatchford set to go here for William & Mary. Nice routine from Calafita. They are turning this momentum around. Floor, good place to do that, get the energy back up. Another one of those tucked fulls. That is valued out of a 9.9. So again, it's really important for William & Mary to get these start values up because they were competing so many of those laid out vaults. Nice to see them twisting those vaults. The tucked full starts at the 9.9. Laid out full starts from the 9.95. Brittany Emmons there, the assistant coach, working hand in hand with Kelsey Hinton, the head coach. And as I mentioned, said we are likely to see all twisting vaults at the GEC Championships next weekend. Tasha Brzezowski here for Maryland on bars. Nice straggled Jaeger. Maybe just a hair shy on the bail to handstand. Nice final handstand. Sticks that double layout, or college stick, I should say. A little hot back there, but nice routine. Sophia Huang up next for William & Mary on vault. Grace Valancourt for Towson on floor. Big double tuck there. Solid series on beam. This is Annalise Silverman. And no vaulting that, Huang vaulting that difficult. Your laid out Yurchenko starts out of a 9.95. Look at the height Valancourt gets on that 1.5 to punch front. So secure in the aerial on beam for Silverman. Sophie Chandler up next for William & Mary on vault. You know, I talked about Grace Valancourt on bars, shows off some of those similar beautiful lines here on floor, and didn't have the best performance on beam, so nice to see her recover there. Sierra Kondo up next for Maryland. Yurchenko layout there for Sophie Chandler. Nice body position in the air. In those laid out vaults, we do want to see the hip angle extended in a nice straight line. Did a good job there. Sierra Kondo up next for Maryland. A little off on that half pirouette, but handles it no problem into the Ginger overshoot. Double layout, baby hop back, but really nice routine. William & Mary wrapped up on vault. Deja Chambliss, again, in her senior night. Paige Casper on floor for Towson as well. Deja, she's a really composed athlete. Was a little off on that layout step out, but hangs on to it. Oh gosh, I jinxed her. Too bad. That full turn, it'll get you. Does that difficult double full. Too bad, because that full turn is, you know, a simple element, but it's one that a lot of college gymnasts will tell you it'll get you. I think a lot of college gymnasts would like to see that requirement done away with, but still a requirement on beam. Paige Casper, meanwhile, rocking this floor routine for Towson. She's so powerful. Just so secure in the landing of that double back. Nice to see Towson rebounding from that beam rotation. Emma Silverman set to go here for Maryland on bars. Half turn into the Ginger. Shy on the half turn, but works nicely into that Ginger. Marla York up next for GW. Wow, drills that landing. Brett Nelligan is stoked, as he should be. Absolutely lovely dismount. Just a couple little shy handstands and such in that routine, but Silverman, such a great contributor for Maryland. Marley York, this is a tricky position because, it was kind of a fluke fall on that full turn, but it's still a fall. So, 9.275 for Deja Chambliss. Wow. Triple series, 2-foot layout, no problem. Front toss, hangs on to it. Isabella Minervini for Towson. Shy of split on that second split in particular, which is a requirement on beam that you reach at 180 degrees. Nice dismount though, good recovery routine. Minervini nails that opening pass. Aleka Chiknius here for Maryland on bars. $9.875 for Silverman flashing. Superb control of that double pike. Chiknius, look at the height of that Jaeger. Huge. This could, great job from Minervini. Let's see if Chiknius can get this dismount. Oh, I think she opened a little too soon for it. Maybe was going for the stick because it was so pretty on the bars, but I think she opened just a little bit early trying to stick it and has to take that pace forward. Still, so pretty. Rachel Katz for GW on beam here. So difficult, that series. That switch split jump, don't see that very often. Just a little hesitation in that aerial, but hangs on to it. Two-foot back handspring to layout, step out, so solid. Amy Stewart on floor for Towson, one of their floor specialists. Just a little hop on beam, but nice job. Maddie Komorowski in exhibition here on bars. And I believe this is the first time she has competed bars in college, even in an exhibition. Pretty piked Jaeger. Just a bit shy of that Rudy for Stewart, but couple form breaks in that bar routine, but overall nice job for Komorowski. Stewart gearing up here for her last pass. Drills that double back. Really nice job there. You know, Towson came back in a big way on floor, so I have to commend them for that. Even if this score won't ultimately count for their NQS, still really good for them to turn that momentum around just mentally as they move to floor. Still a lot of gymnastics left here, of course. Nancy Kiner here on beam for GW. Kiner, the sophomore. Good control in that full turn. Some bent knees in that aerial, but keeps it going into the back handspring connection. Nice switch split to split jump combination. Wow, great chest position on that front toss. Absolutely love it. You see a lot of athletes landing it with their chest low. Switch, half. So much difficulty in this routine. I like that she's going for that. That popular gainer pike sticks the landing. She's stoked about that one. Good for her. A couple of form errors in that routine, but really liked the difficult dance elements that she went forth through that routine. That switch split, real highlight. So that is all of the gymnastics wrapped for this rotation. I can give you some score updates. We'll start with William & Mary on floor. And sorry, I've just lost the scores, but I will get those to you when I am able. And I'm sorry, it was William & Mary on vault, excuse me. You know, as I mentioned, really great for them to get those twisting vaults out there. Some of the landings were struggles, but it takes a while to get those vault landings secure in a competitive environment. So I know they're gearing up they are hosting the Gymnastics East Conference Championship. George Washington, Deja Chambliss had that fall. Otherwise, strong rotation for them. They have the opportunity to end this meet on a really high note here. They will be moving to floor for this fourth rotation. We'll have GW floor, Towson, vault. William & Mary will be on bars. Maryland will be on beam. We will be back here. I'm Christina Chauvenet. You are watching College Gymnastics on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back into the Charles E. Smith Center. We are here at George Washington University. It is their senior day meet here. Really great quad going on here. GW moves to floor in this final rotation. Towson will be on vault. William & Mary will be on bars. And Maryland will be on beam. Maryland really in control of this meet scoring-wise at this point. Remember, though, that records don't count in gymnastics, so everything is about that NQS, that national qualifying score that teams use to qualify to the NCAA postseason. We've been talking throughout the broadcast, Maryland at this point pretty much a lock for regionals. Towson likely to make regionals, would like to move out of those bottom 8 teams that have to compete in that first round. And GW right now on the outside looking in have the possibility to make regionals, but they are currently ranked 38th, so need a strong floor performance here so they can use that towards their national qualifying score. William & Mary not likely to qualify for regionals, but they are hosting the Gymnastics East Conference at home. They want to end their end their season on a really high note. They scored a 193, which was their season high last week. They are on pace to do even better than that. I think they're on pace for mid 193. We'll see what happens in this last rotation. So really exciting gymnastics happening here, and we've got 2 minutes left in the touch warm-up period. And as I mentioned, we are celebrating the GW Senior Day here in the Charles E. Smith Center. So GW really celebrating their seniors. They did their, each class at GW does a walkout in the introductions, and they all have fun with that. But the seniors here for GW, Deja Chambliss, Hannah Munnelly, Nora Hausman, and Libby Garfoot all have performed in either exhibition or in a scoring routine. We're going to see Deja Chambliss on floor in this next rotation. Just about 1.5 minutes out, we're going to be back for the final rotation. Don't go anywhere. You're watching College Gymnastics on ESPN+. We are back for the fourth and final rotation of gymnastics here inside the Charles E. Smith Center. I'm your host, Christina Chauvenet. You're tuning in for a quad meet. Host GW will finish on floor. Towson will be on vault. William & Mary will be on bars. Maryland will be on beam. We have completed the touch warm-up. Getting started here on floor is Annalise Silverman. And we've got the quad box for you. Jenna Wheats getting started on vault. Nice full twisting Yurchenko there. Caroline Blatchford getting started for William & Mary. Nice control of that double pike on floor. Nice straddle Jaeger to overshoot combination for Blatchford. Emma Silverman getting started for Maryland here. Really nice routine for William & Mary to start. Caroline Blatchford, one of their standout gymnasts. Great triple series there for Emma Silverman to start. Adriana Hoffman up next for Towson on vault. Nice stretch through that switch split straddle quarter. A nice routine to start for Annalise Silverman there. Hoffman getting set here. Nice full twisting Yurchenko and great dismount for Maryland. Really nice gymnastics to kick off. All of these teams had strong lead-off performances. Hoffman getting a nice landing there on her full twisting Yurchenko. Amanda Jackson up next for William & Mary on bars. Mia Davis up next for Towson here on vault, and she is a powerhouse, really one of those athletes. She has trained 1.5 and also underway here on, oh gosh. Too bad Jackson just mistimed the release on that Jaeger. Mia Davis here. Oh, just a little crooked on the table, lands outside those lines, but very powerful athlete. Elizabeth DeBarbery here for Maryland. Super solid in that series. She's been out of the lineup for a couple weeks, took a fall at Big Fives and kept her out for precautionary measures, which I think is really smart given Maryland's positioning in the rankings, and just to make sure to preserve, make sure the athlete feels really comfortable when they come back. Just a struggle on bars. Hangs on to that dismount though. But DeBarbery, as I mentioned, pretty aerial there. Has also been in the bars lineup, so we'll see if she works her way back in there as well. Lauren Bolin up next for Towson on vault. Nice full twisting Yurchenko there. She's stoked about that one, as she should be. Peyton Lynch up next for GW on floor. Huge 1.5 to front layout. Cami Vitoff up next for Towson on vault. Reese McClure getting set here for Maryland on beam. And Cami Vitoff, huge full. She's capable of doing the 1.5. Jay Ramirez said we might see it in regionals, just not quite yet. Jay Ramirez, the head coach of Towson. Sarah Cooper trying to right the ship here for William & Mary on bars. Some leg separation in that Ginger, but keeps it moving. Smooth beam series for Reese McClure. Big double layout, nice chest position on landing there for Sarah Cooper, GW. And Peyton Lynch wrapped up a nice floor routine there as well. Bit hesitant into that connection on beam, but hangs on to that front toss. Wow. Big Yurchenko full there for Paulina Belanovsky to close the scoring lineup out. Love this dismount from Reese McClure. How cool is that? Does the 1 foot, 1.5, similar to what Kendall Whitman does, but adds that extra half twist. I absolutely love that. Kendall Whitman here on floor. This is state of the art, folks. Look at this, double front, huge air time. Asha Laird here for William & Mary on bars. Felisa Poblete here on vault for Towson in exhibition. Cool, pull on, tucked off on vault. And another hit for William & Mary on bars. Kendall Whitman, folks, she is the only athlete competing 3 E-passes in NCAA. Just unbelievable. I love the level of difficulty. Think about all of the Olympians that are in NCAA right now. None of them are doing 3 E-passes. No knock to them. My only point is she's doing way more difficulty than she needs to. And I just love that she goes for that. Just absolutely stunning performance. Victoria Gatzendorfer on beam here from Maryland. Off on her triple series, unfortunately. Kendall Whitman giving some love to the fans there. They're chanting 10. I don't think it's going to get that, but still, wonderful performance. And you can see Deanna Sharameta here up next. Victoria Gatzendorfer unfortunately had that fall, but pretty ring jump there. Sarah Wozniak up next on bars for William & Mary. Victoria Gatzendorfer unfortunately having that fall for Maryland. Deanna Sharameta here for GW on floor. A little extra bounce in that first pass, but controls it. Nice high ganger there for Wozniak on bars. I don't know what William & Mary has been doing in the gym, but it is paying off because these dismounts look crisp. Kelsey Hinton stoked about that one. Sharameta so pretty here on floor. Just lovely toe point. Look at that ring position. Oh, just stunning floor work. The attention to detail in that routine is so impressive. As I mentioned, goes for that difficult ring leap and hits that position really nicely. I love to see that artistry in NCAA gymnastics, and in my opinion, it is not rewarded enough. Only 3/10 of the floor score attributed to artistry. I will get on my soapbox and say I think that should be more of the floor score. But I don't make the rules, folks. I'm just here to guide you through it. So up next on beam for Maryland, speaking of artistry, Maddie Komorowski, and she's a real treat here. This is a critical position because she is coming off a fall from Gatzendorfer. Grace Costello up next for William & Mary. One-armed back handspring layout, step out, patient in that correction. And we've got some stunning gymnastics here, back-to-back. Deja Chambliss getting started here. Grace Costello in the anchor spot for William & Mary here. Oh. Deja Chambliss drills that double pike. Pretty sheep jump for Maddie Komorowski. Look at the height. Chambliss gets on that 1.5 to front layout. Reset here for Costello. Komorowski was struggling on that dismount a little bit in warm-up, but no problem there. Costello unfortunately had that fall, but some pretty work throughout that routine. Deja Chambliss has the stage to herself at the moment, gearing up. Last pass for her in the Charles E. Smith Center. And absolutely nails that double back. Deja Chambliss getting a standing ovation here from the GW fans, as she should. Folks, I can read you her resume. It would take me the next few hours. I think we'll be off air before I can finish that. Just a couple highlights. She's an NCAA regional individual all-around qualifier last year. All-Eagle first team on vault, floor, and all-around. The 2022 Eagle Gymnast of the Year. Bajillion time Eagle Gymnast of the Week. I've lost count at this point. She is just really been so consistent. Had an Achilles injury early in her career at GW, missed a season. She's back doing a master's, which I gotta say, I love these athletes coming back, going to graduate school. Life continues after gymnastics, and so she's using her extra year to do a master's degree in bioinformatics, and my day job's in public health, so I absolutely love that. But you know, Deja Chambliss, one of the best ever to put on a GW leotard, certainly in that caliber with Cammie Druna-Layer, Jillian Whitstanley, some of those GW greats. So congratulations to her. Josephine Kogler for Maryland here on beam. Oh. Marley York goes for that difficult triple full, bit short, but I admire her going for that difficulty. Anne-Marie Kubler here in exhibition for GW, and for William & Mary, excuse me. Oh, missed her full turn. Good decision to not go for that dismount. Big. Wow, 1.5 to front full. So nice. Nice rest of the routine for Kogler, but unfortunately that score is going to have to count for Maryland because Gatzendorfer had an 8-8. Nice routine there for Marley York. Again, not very many people go for that triple full. That's an E-rated pass in gymnastics, so really good to see her. Was, as I mentioned, just a bit shy of rotation in that triple full, but that 1.5 to front full pass was stunning, and love to see them giving some love to the fans here. Maryland will have an exhibition on beam, Olivia Weir, and that will be the last piece of gymnastics that we see. Just waiting for the green light from the judges here. And unfortunately, William & Mary did not finish the way that they would have liked on bars. Had really nice, they can be really proud, I think, of what they did on the other three apparatus, and some real highlights there. While we're waiting here, I'll just catch you up on some scores. We've got the final scores in here. Maryland does win this. No, Maryland does not win this meet. Excuse me. Maryland. We're waiting for the score for Kogler still, so we'll wait to see there because GW is GW and Maryland in a similar scoring threshold. Towson 195-425, William and Mary 192-8. As you see that handspring layout step out from Olivia Weir, really solid. I love her work on this event because she has some different elements, very powerful elements. She's doing this cat leap into the switch side, just a bit shy of split there. Check this out. Switch split into layout step out. Don't see that very often. And here's another highlight of her routine for me. This 1.5, drills that landing. Nice job for her. Unfortunately, just Maryland having to count that fall. So now I can get you some updated scores, folks, because we're still waiting for a couple of those final scores to come in. GW comes from behind to win this meet, 195-775. Maryland 195-95, excuse me, with that last score coming in for York. Deja Chambliss takes the event title 9-9-2-5 in her senior meet. The GW wins this 195-9-5. Maryland 195-7. Three strong rotations for them. Had some struggles on beam to finish. Towson 195-425. Again, not their strongest meet. That will not improve their NQS. William and Mary comes up a little bit short of their season high 192.8. So we are all through with gymnastics here, folks. Want to again wish this senior class for GW a congratulations. Libby Garfoot, Nora Hausman, Hannah Munnelly, Deja Chambliss get the victory on their senior night. Those are the unofficial results, folks. We're going to stick around here for the award ceremony. You can stay tuned for the PA announcements. Those will have your official scores, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off for our entire production team here at George Washington University. I'm Christina Chauvenet. You've been watching College Gymnastics on ESPN+.
We're going to encourage all you wonderful fans to stick around as we tabulate the scores. We will honor tonight's champions, and we also would like to honor and recognize our graduating seniors. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have tabulated the scores from tonight's competition, and we are now ready to honor and recognize our champions this evening. We're going to recognize the top 3 on each event. We're going to start with the vaulting event. And if we're going to ask these champions to stand on the podium when their names are announced. And on vault this evening, we have 3 young ladies that have the top score. It's 9.85. They are all co-champions. From Towson, Polina Belanovsky. From Maryland, Alexis Rubio. And also from Maryland, Olivia Weir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate our vault champions this evening as they salute. On the uneven bars, finishing in 3rd with a 9.825 score from George Washington, Libby Garfoot. And once again, we have co-champions, that score being 9.875. From Towson, Clara Hong. And from Maryland, Emma Silberman. Congratulations to our uneven bar champions this evening. On balance beam, we have 3 young ladies tied with a score of 9.85 for 3rd. From Towson, Sarah Giroux. From Maryland, Reese McClure. And from George Washington, Sarah Zoyce. All tied for 3rd, ladies. And we have co-champions again for the top score of 9.875. From Maryland, Maddie Komorowski. And from George Washington, Kendall Whitman. Give it up for our balance beam champions from this evening. On floor exercise, we have a 4-way tie at 3rd, that score being 9.9. From Towson, Grace Valancourt. And from Maryland, Reese McClure, Emma Silberman, and Maddie Komorowski. And we have co-champions this evening with outstanding score of 9.925. Both are from George Washington, Deja Chambliss, and Kendall Whitman. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your floor champions this evening. In the all-around, finishing in 3rd with a total of 38.75. From George Washington, Deja Chambliss. Finishing in 2nd with a total of 38.95, also from George Washington, Marley York. And your all-around champion this evening totaled 39.4. She is from Maryland, Emma Silberman. Give it up for our all-around champions from this evening. And now for our team scores. We ask the teams stand to be recognized as their scores are announced. Finishing with a total of 192.8 are the Tribe from William and Mary. Finishing with a total of 195.425 are the Tigers from Towson. Finishing with a total of 195.7 are the Terrapins from Maryland. And your champions this evening, total 195.95. That will be your George Washington Colonials. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to start tonight's senior ceremony by recognizing gymnasts from our competitive teams that are here. Tonight's seniors from William & Mary